Hey there everybody, Nathan Elson here. Welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to take you behind the scenes on a recent studio shoot where I used one light with one modifier to create 3 different looks. So that being said, let's just get into it. The first style of lighting that I'm going to use for this shoot is what's known as top-down lighting. And to put it simply, it means that the light is coming from above the model rather than from the side, which creates this dramatic fall off to the lighting that can really make a portrait pop. Now there are a few things that you have to do in order for this style of lighting to work, and the major one, of course, is light placement. As you can see here, I have the model placed to the back of the modifier so that the light can feather down her body. Now this is where a larger modifier really works well with this style of lighting. And for this shoot, I am using a 60-inch Rapid Snap Octabox from Strobe Pro. Now, these Rapid Snap Octaboxes have become a huge part of my photography arsenal. I have them ranging from a 24, a 36, a 42, a 60. I have, essentially a gamut of these Octaboxes because they go together so quickly, they store incredibly well, and they're relatively inexpensive. So for any of you that are interested in checking those out, I will link them down in the description below. Now I also have the lighting angled down just ever so slightly to help create a little catch light in the model's eyes, as the light coming from above can leave the eyes looking rather dark if it's not done properly. And also, I just want to note quickly that yes, I am using a large red wing boom. And yes, I am shooting in a large studio. And yes, I fully understand that the majority of you watching this video do not have those things. But that's not what makes these portraits possible. I have done this setup with nothing but a C-stand in a small room. So if you're watching these videos and you're thinking, well, I can't do this because I don't have these things, that is an excuse. And photography is all about problem solving. So take the gear that you have, take the fundamentals that you've learned from these videos and find a way to make it happen. Because if you're saying you can't do it just because you don't have the same things that I do, that is an excuse, not a reason. Go out, make it happen, and stop telling me in the comments that not everyone has access to these things. I get that. I didn't have access to these things when I first started either. Go out, make things, stop blaming your lack of gear on your inability to create, because you can create with literally anything. Now for the backdrop, I'm using a 9-foot super white seamless background from Savage Backdrops, and I have the model around 4 to 5 feet away from the back of the backdrop because I wanted the background to fall to a light gray. Now, not only does this help separate the model from the background, but using the white background also allows me to play around more with the color grade, allowing me to adjust the tones for different looks. The camera and lens that I'm using in all 3 setups that I'm going to show you in this video are the Nikon Z6 II with the Sigma 50mm art lens on my FTZ adapter, and I am tethered into Capture One Pro. Now, a huge part of my workflow is shooting tethered, as this allows me to, sit with my clients or my subjects and look at what's working well with the shoot, as well as trying to figure out ways that we can elevate the shoot to the next level. And a big part of my tether station is my new monitor, which is the BenQ SW272U. Now, I'll list off the specs to the side here because they're crazy impressive, and this monitor renders color and tone like nothing I've ever seen before. But that's not even what I love about this monitor. It's the little things, like the fact that I can install this hood both horizontally as well as vertically so that I can not only limit any reflections on the monitor, I can also block the view from my subjects so they're not distracted and trying to sneak a peek while we're in the middle of shooting. And speaking of reflections, these monitors have an anti-glare fine coated panel, which also helps to eliminate any glare from lights or windows, making it awesome for viewing from any angle. And finally, it's a small thing, but the handle on the back of this monitor is such a huge thing for someone like me who goes from studio to location and has to transfer the monitor from place to place. Having an easy way to carry this monitor is a lifesaver, and it's strangely one of my favorite things about this monitor. Now, the construction of it all, the base, the small bezels, everything, this thing is just so well built. And this is not sponsored in any way. A lot of you just ask me about my tethering station on almost every video that I create. So this is the newest piece that I just wanted to share with you, pieces that I'm putting together. And the BenQ monitors, this is my second one. I absolutely love it. I will link it down in the description for those of you who are interested in checking it out. Like I said, not sponsored, not even affiliated, just really like it. So if you're interested, check it out. Now for the next setup, I had the model lay on this metal coffee table that was at the studio, and then I positioned the lighting to again come from the top of the model's head and travel down her body. Now, had I left that light positioned how it was before, up and above, it would have made everything very flat in the final image. We would have lost that jawline, any shape in our body, anything like that. So I wanted to keep with that top-down style of lighting, but because the model's actually laying down, I had to bring that lighting down to the side above her head, and then again push that light down across so it's feathering down her body to bring out the shapes in that jawline, in her body, and just create a little bit more interest in the image. Now, I also added in some atmosphere to the images using this little handheld smoke machine. Now, this got sent to me a while ago, and this is actually my first time ever using it. And I don't know if you guys are interested in little things like this. A lot of them get sent my way. They do come in handy, but I'm not necessarily going to dedicate an entire video to a smoke machine because it's not that interesting. But if you guys are interested in me putting something together that shows kind of like all of these little photography gadgets that are maybe, you know, under $100, let me know, I'll put that together. But that's why you're seeing smoke in the final images. I just didn't have any behind the scenes showing that we were blowing this. But when you take the lighting and you add in the atmosphere, this is what it ends up looking like. And this final setup, we just kept it super simple. I had the model sit on the floor against a white wall, and I brought the lighting in from the opposite side of my camera so that the lighting falling on her face was coming in a little bit more from behind to help accentuate her features. I then came in fairly tight with my 50mm lens, and this was the result. And so there you guys go. That's an easy way to create 3 looks using 1 light and 1 modifier. And with that, honestly, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you, and the channel is growing and more of you are coming on board and talking to me and, you know, putting all of this together and helping this become something. So I just wanted to say thank you. And, you know, all of this has got me a little bit more energized to be a part of this. I've got my new setup here I'll talk about that very soon. It's very streamlined, which is great. It makes doing all of this a lot easier. But with that being said, seriously, thank you. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.